October of 2008, as our economy was on the verge of collapsing into a very deep depression, I voted to provide America's largest financial institutions with $350 billion in assistance. I took that action solely because I thought the future of Main Street hinged on the financial health of Wall Street. But what has occurred since amounts to one of the biggest betrayals of ordinary Americans in our nation's history. My Republican friends have recently suggested that government poses the biggest threat to our daily lives. But I believe the real danger to our economy and the future prosperity of this nation comes from another G word, greed. How else can you describe the CEOs responsible for driving this economy into a ditch, walking off with lavish bonuses and golden parachutes? Pure greed. How about AIG taking not one but two staff retreats to fancy spas after being bailed out by the American taxpayer? And while we have homeless veterans sleeping on the streets every night in this nation, they put their dogs and cats up in rooms at $500 a night. That's greed and shameful. In Citi Field, $14,000 for trash cans and Super Bowl parties. Greed, greed, and more greed. But meanwhile, back on Main Street, people are struggling to keep their jobs, stay in their homes, and pay their bills. And now we're asking our seniors to do without their annual cost of living adjustment. What a double standard that sets. And what message that sends to the people who have worked their whole lives and pay taxes their entire lives. Clearly, this greed on Wall Street is obscene enough as it is, but when it's subsidized by tax dollars of ordinary Americans, that's when it's time to say, as my friend Betty Sutton said, enough is enough. And that's why we're here today. Despite the best efforts of the President and this Congress to craft strong executive compensation limits for companies receiving government assistance, the greed continues. Laws are being subverted, loopholes are being exposed, our constituents expect and deserve better. We provide these financial institutions capital so they can lend money to ordinary families and small businesses, not line their own pockets, and that's exactly what they are doing. The Obama administration must step up its efforts and oversight of executive compensation laws immediately. Outrage is not enough. We need action, and we need action right away, and I want to thank you, and thank you again, Bruce, for having me.